Dan, you have a professional career as an IT help desk kind of a role, don't you?
Sort of. Not really so much the help desk part of it, but IT related, sort of.
You're an IT professional.
Yes.
That's your career, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's what I need from you. I need to know what your salary is, how much money you make, and your mother's maiden name and your social security number and your high school mascot. Can you give me all that? I need to know, Dan, how much money you make a year. What's your paycheck? What's your salary you make in IT?
It is the same amount of how much wood I have in my wood yard. Not enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was raised that you never ask another person how much money they make.
I was as well. And it
Yeah.
was also the number one thing you were taught in professional wrestling as soon as you were ready to have your first match. You never discuss with anyone what their pay was or what your pay was.
Uh-huh. Because the promoter didn't want to get assaulted at the end of the night, maybe?
Well, possibly. That could be one reason.
Yeah. I remember when I had a real job, I think the law has changed, but when you got your bonus, or when you'd have your yearly review, you'd have your raise and bonus discussion, and it was a violation of company policy to discuss that with other people.
Yes.
No one was allowed to know what anyone make, but I think that law has been changed for freedom of speech implications.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it's just, to me, it's just common, knowledge, courtesy? I don't know.
Uh-huh. That you don't
Yeah.
tell everyone else what you make.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, I just don't. It's kind of like, I don't know if you saw what I dressed up as on Halloween for my live stream.
Yeah, you were a nun.
Yeah, it's none your business.
I was waiting for you to start singing about Maria from The Sound of Music.
But yeah, no, it's typically, I look at that type of topic as it's between me and my employer, how much I make.
Okay, so what you're saying is, if I am asking you to tell me what your salary is with your job, you're telling me it's none of my business.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I accept that.
All right.
So I accept that. So let's change the topic and let's talk about bark up, bark down stacking.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. So let me ask you this, Dan. How do you feel in a YouTube video? Well, let's just first, we might have some new people out there. Hello, everyone. My name is Joe, and I'm sitting next to Dan. We are both YouTube personalities, and we're in the firewood niche, and we have this podcast called The Hounds. We are the world's largest firewood podcast ever.
In the world. Yeah. Number one, firewood podcast.
Yeah. And I, in my full-time employment, I am a for real firewood delivery service here in Northeast Ohio. And Dan, I don't know, Dan, what would you call yourself in making firewood and all?
I am a content creator with the subject matter of firewood.
Yeah, but so is firewood like a big deal for you, or is it just something that you do on the side? Is there like a word that you use to describe what your role is in firewood?
It is a side hustle.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm also known as a hobbyist.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that word, Dan. Yeah, so as long as I have known you, Dan, I have never heard you claim to be anything other than that. I've never heard you say that you're some massive firewood operation and and promote yourself as such in any of your videos that you put online.
Correct. I don't even try to label myself in any. Like I said, I in my eyes and what I try to project through my content is I'm a content creator with the subject matter of firewood.
Yeah, that's good enough for me, Dan. So for me, I am a full-time firewood delivery service here in Northeast Ohio. And it seems like YouTube for me is a hobby. It's what I do for like side money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh huh. But I mean, and so this is getting into like that money thing. Dan and I were talking about this because we had stumbled upon some comments in other YouTube channels that are out there, and it got a discussion going on, and we thought that it was appropriate for this episode. And we are true to our policy. We don't speak bad about any other channel out there. We like all of the channels. And if we were to ever discuss another channel, we would have notified them to get their nod.
We would wait for the nod.
We would wait for the nod before we would do such a thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I am a full-time, for real firewood delivery service. It is sustaining, it is growing. I am a professional. I have a business. I am registered. I make money. And despite having a YouTube channel, my firewood business is 100%. I just feel weird even saying that. Just in case, Dan, there's anyone out there who would ever have such an idea to think differently. I I'm just throwing that out there just to make it perfectly clear. I'm putting it on notice. Now, okay, and this is where we're going to get into, well, how much money you make, and what is your business and what is not yours or my business. Is if I am lying, okay, about this reality that I am living in right now, it also means one of two things: that I am also lying to my wife, or my wife is also in on the lie. And I'm just here to say that neither one of those are true. I don't lie. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't misrepresent anything. So those are the facts. I'm just throwing them out there. If anyone were to have ever said anything different, well, I wouldn't call them a liar because they just don't know, because evidently I don't even know. So I'm just saying they're just misinformed. So if you hear anyone out there that says anything different, they're misinformed. They just don't know what they're talking about.
And it goes to, I think, the general underlying theme that's always not only just within the firewood niche, but I think even like, well, to YouTube in general, like everyone is always worried about or always concerned with or always wants to know how much somebody makes. Like, how much do you make? How much does this channel make? How much do you make selling firewood? What do you sell your firewood for? And for whatever reason, other than just, being nosy, that always seems to be like a topic that people want to get into. They want to dive into and figure out how much you make.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have opinions on both of them, on what a person would want to know what you make as a YouTube channel, and whatever it is. And if it is a channel that revolves around a particular career or a side hustle or whatever, I think it's reasonable for people to have that type of interest. I think though that, and I don't know where the line is drawn. Well, I know where my line is drawn. You don't ask someone how much money they make. My position is, if you've been following along, you pretty much can figure it out on your own. What a person makes, especially if they have a website. If they're in the sales, you can
That
see what they're
lists their
selling their
prices.
stuff for. Yeah. And you can see how much wood or whatever it is that they've been moving. You can figure that out. But for the YouTube thing, I don't know. It's like, I think a lot of people are interested in it because it's kind of fascinating to see how, like, a YouTube's like for the normal people. We're not like trained actors and schooled producers and camera people, with this exotic equipment and computer generated graphics. So I think there's a little bit of a fascination about that to see. But with a few exceptions out there, I think if you really knew the dollar amount, you'd be disappointed.
It would be shocking. It would be shocking in probably the way you wouldn't think. Yeah, but then again, that's the thing that, to your point, is kind of fascinating, because every video is different, and the potential and the opportunity is there to make some decent, significant amounts of money. But on the same sense, it's kind of like, what impact does it really have in your life knowing how much someone else is making, like from
Uh huh.
YouTube or from
Yeah.
anything? What does it really do for you to know that I make this much money?
Have you ever noticed, Dan, that have you ever noticed comments on other channels or your own channel where there is like this level of, I don't know what the right word is, disdain or a lack of respect that people have for a YouTube personality who makes money with their channel?
Oh yeah, there's a general theme of, it's always something like, you were different when you were smaller. Now that you've gotten big, you've gotten out of touch. You've lost touch with your followers.
Yeah.
You've lost touch with your audience. You're no, I mean, and again, I don't know really how to
Well, I don't
address that.
even mean that though. I just mean the fact that you make money
Oh, just even, yeah, the
with
fact that you just
with
make a
YouTube. It
dollar.
seems like there's people out there that have a problem with that, where
Yes.
it's not labor earned by the sweat of your brow. Where how, like, some people look at professional athletes with disgust because they make too much money for what they do. But like, if you, I don't know, if you're a tradesman or you punch a clock and go into the office every day, that's different versus someone that makes a living off of YouTube, or not make a living. I mean, just makes money. There's like, I have probably had 1,000 comments over the years where that is the underlying attitude that I've noted.
Yeah, you shouldn't be making money off this, because it's just, in their eyes, it's something that is effortless. Like, you're getting like free money. You're getting money for doing nothing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh huh. But what about like your employment though? For instance, I am a full-time firewood delivery service. And for the most part, everyone accepts that, and they have been following my story since day one. And that's what my YouTube channel has been about, the day in the life of a firewood delivery service. And people has seen my business grow over the years. They've seen my business grow as not only the machines that I use, but the amount of times I'm up and down the road with my trucks. I had to buy a second truck to keep up. People have seen that, but then I still think, and this is where I give some credit though to a lot of people, is they're suspicious of what I'm doing. Uh, and I think that's probably, I don't know. There's like a little wiggle room in there between it's none of your business versus they got to make sure that I'm being legit because I'm promoting a business model. And a lot of people, especially in firewood, there's not a lot of creative thinking in our industry. And a lot of people from that niche within our industry can't understand what I'm doing. And that's why they want to, and that's why they need to know, they need to see numbers. And I
Yes.
admit I am coy with my numbers because it's one of these things, I put a lot out there and show what I do, but it just seems to me you can figure out how much money I'm making.
Well, that
And
was gonna
I'm not gonna tell you. It's because it's
that
none
was
of your
gonna be
business.
my suggestion is to remove those doubts from people watching your YouTube videos. You need to, a couple times a month, create a thumbnail flashing $100 bills in your hand, and then you need to do videos with spreadsheets showing all your numbers, and then but leave off the important numbers like what about the taxes?
Yeah, if I were to ever do a video on about a balance sheet, a profit and loss statement, I would have a name for that, and that name is called rock bottom. God,
And I'm
I
not
could
saying
not.
I'm not saying that's wrong. Like if that's your jam, that's your jam, go for it. But it's
Oh
not
God,
something that I'm going to ever like break down
yeah.
and show everyone because I'm number one, like I said, I don't know why people would want to know. And if they do, it's none of your business.
It would literally be the most boring 15 minutes of your life. God, I couldn't think of a more boring subject matter than spouting off numbers, about I bought the wood for this and the transportation costs with the truck that I used and the depreciation of the tires and the consumables of the trailer. Oh my God. Wake me up, man.
but
Wake me
again,
up when it's over.
yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying like the why people want to know all that. I just find sometimes
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know the word to describe it, but it's weird to me because once you're showing that information, what does it then change?
Well, there have been channels out there that have done that, and then they get peppered with, well, what about this? What about that? You didn't account for the
Yeah,
delivery fee. You didn't account for the electricity that you used.
yeah. It opens up. I don't know, just way too many of that. What about? What about? What
What
about that?
about
Well, what about this?
what
And
about the
then
taxes?
at what point then do you finally like stop? You know, I
How
don't know.
far down do you go with it? Yeah, it just, Dan, it seems to me that people, especially if they have an interest in wood and firewood, and even if they've never delivered a stick of firewood, you know darn well the expenses that are involved, and you can come up with your own. And my expenses wouldn't be your expenses.
Right. Everyone's different. Every
Uh-huh.
market's different.
Gosh. And then doing a video on this would be bad enough. I mean, that would just be awful. But to do that in my everyday life, I did 22 plus years of corporate hackery. And what I had learned getting into firewood, well, just getting into turning a side hustle into a business, it's my business. I'll run it the way I want. And I preach this. If you can balance your checkbook, that's good enough. You're an adult. You know what it is to cover your expenses. You know what it is to have money coming in. And if you need that discipline in your life to budget to buy something 5 years from now, then have at it. But I don't. We just bought a new car for the wife, and I don't remember budgeting at all. We just went and bought the car. Gee whiz, you
Yeah,
know?
it's an interesting aspect of every all of this. The just not. I'm sure it's in other niches as well on YouTube. But
Yeah,
and I always find it funny, like the comments that are like, "Oh, thank you for showing me this. Thank you for breaking it down. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all this information. I'm never going to do anything with, and I'm never going to open a business, and I'm never going to sell anything anyway. But God, I really love knowing exactly how you broke everything down."
yeah. And then at the end of the day, you got the same amount of money in your bank account. Gosh.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I find it weird when people ask me, how much I make. I've deleted some of those comments too. Like there were other comments where people want to know what I'm paying for these triaxles that come onto my land. I don't even like sharing that because that's between me and the logger. And, if the logger's selling me something for X, but he's charging another person in the area a different amount and they see it on video, you get people in trouble over that. I
Yeah,
always give
that's
ranges.
that
I
would
give
be a
ranges. Like all these triaxle trucks, it's anywhere between $700 and $1,000. People ask how much wood that I sell, because you can see on my website what I sell a quarter cord for. And they'll say, well, how much wood do you sell a year? So I give ranges, anywhere between 100 and 200 cords a year. My business model doesn't require me to move big piles of wood. I take pride in selling less. And in my opinion, if you do the math, even if I was a completely incompetent business owner and I am giving up 50% of everything to expenses, if you run those numbers, I think it's reasonable to say that this person can make a living selling firewood.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why isn't that good enough?
I That is the question of the day. That is the question we have here before us.
Uh huh.
Why is it, you have to give numbers, and why is it people, what is it that really is driving needing to know?
Uh huh.
You know.
Well, I have given top line numbers before. For instance, I did a video on bundles one time, and the title was something like, I made $200 in 1 hour. Okay. Which to me, the math was I multiplied how much I sold these bundles for times X, the number that I wrapped, and it came out to $200. Okay. That is the top line number. Well, then someone else did a video complaining about that. And some of these people are like, yeah, this guy just sugarcoats everything. He doesn't give you the real. I was like, what is it where you can't figure out that it's probably $1 for the wood and 20 cents for the plastic? I paid cash for the machine. What's the big deal? And that's why was thinking about, I'm going to ask Dan what his salary is. How come, Dan, when if someone were to tell you, oh, I got a new job. Oh yeah, what are you making? Oh, I'm making 50,000 a year. Why doesn't anyone ever say, oh no, you're not? What about your deductions? What about your lunches? What about all the clothes that you got to buy and the gas that you got to have to drive into work? And what about the taxes? Why doesn't anyone ever like pick apart someone when they get their job and they say what their salary is? But if you're running
Exactly.
if you run a firewood business, watch out, man.
Exactly. That is one of the fascinating aspects of this, is that if somebody said, if I just got a job making $25 an hour, and oh, that's good. Oh, great. Nice. Not, well, $25 an hour, but you have to drive into work. You got to get out. You got to make yourself breakfast. You got to do that. You got, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
That car just didn't fall out of the sky.
yeah, no kidding. Oh,
Yeah, boy. Yeah, so that was all of this discussion for me and Dan took off on a comment that Dan read on a different video. I don't even know. The channel's not important. I don't know who it was. I don't even think it was a firewood channel. But it was, what was it, Dan? It was,
well, something about distinguishing between people that do this for real life as a business and people who do it on YouTube, you know, like, and not really running a business. So, like,
oh,
in this case,
I
yeah,
got confused. This was a firewood channel. And the person was complaining that these YouTube channels don't, what did they say, distinguish?
yeah, they should distinguish between those who actually run a firewood business and those who just make firewood for YouTube.
Yeah. So that's what, so Dan and I got to talking about this, and we were trying to think of all of the YouTube channels, and I don't think we could come up with a single one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we know all the YouTube channels, and we know if they're a commercial business or if they're just a hobbyist or
Well,
whatever.
and again, here is another example of why does that even then matter?
Yeah, why does
What
it matter?
what is the difference? How is your viewing of a video on YouTube going to change if you know it's from a person that's running a business, making the video or somebody making the video with, the subject matter of whatever the business is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't change
Yeah.
it.
Totally agree. Yeah. And I can only speak for myself, but my videos revolve around what I know, which I would tell you is not much, but I've figured something out to get this far. And I don't know, when I'm talking about business, I think my audience and who I'm thinking of when I'm talking is like the burnout corporate hack who's looking at turning their side hustle into a full-time business, because that's what I did. I just was fortunate and caught lightning in a bottle, and here I am. Um, I don't talk business like I'm some expert. I don't show spreadsheets or anything because they had been wrong anyways. And you, Dan, I've never once heard you ever say anything other than, you do this as for fun.
Correct. Yeah. I just, and I'm the same thing. I just show what I'm doing and I go with that. And
Uh-huh.
it's obviously, I mean, that's the whole thing. For me, YouTube is the business.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
But I
think I
will,
know what it is though, Dan.
yeah. What's that?
I think I know what it is. I think it's the machines.
we,
I think it's the machines.
yeah.
Like people are offended that you have such big, massive, expensive log splitters on your videos.
Or multiple log splitters.
Multiples.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably another thing that I don't continue to hammer away on my channel. I don't know. It's kind of ironic here. I feel like I'm kind of modest and private, but I mean, I also have a YouTube channel, you know? So it's like, I don't know. But all of the core machines for my business, I bought. All of the other, well, I think the Easton Made Axis is a little messy for me because I don't use it as much as you think. The Super Splitter got me to where I am. But like the Yappa, my trailers, my tractor, my trucks, my wheelbarrows, I bought all that. All the other machines are just kind of peripheral. And, people ask me to put them on. I'll say, heck yeah. There's a lot that I've turned down. But, I guess that causes some people some heartburn. But if YouTube never existed, I would be probably exactly where I am right now.
Doing the
I,
same thing. Yeah. You'd be doing the
I
same
would have
thing.
this. I'd have the exact same machines.
Yeah.
Well, I'm serious. I bought them all. Yeah. Um, like the cleaner off of the Yappa is not mine. I don't even need it, but I got so popular with the Yappa, they asked if I would use it just to show it. Heck yeah. The live deck though was a special deal. Now I would have bought the small one, but I offered to put that roof over the machine to showcase it, so they upgraded to that big table. But everything else, yeah, that's what. Then like these other machines, they come and go, like the Hecky Pilkey, the Timberwolf, and all. That Log Ox is a special deal, but that's not for the business.
Yeah.
That's kind of for the homeowner. Yeah.
Yep.
But my heart and soul of my business is the 405. Bought it. My tractor, bought it. My trailers, bought them. And those A.M. Leonard wheelbarrows. Huh. Love them.
I don't know. I haven't seen any receipts
Yeah,
of any
right.
purchases made, so I don't know if you bought those.
Well, I think that there is a level of trust. I don't feel I've ever done anything to draw attention to me as being a fraud or anything. I'm not aware of anyone out there, throwing rocks at me like that. But sometimes maybe, I don't know. It's like you feel like, well, maybe I should like brag more or talk about this more. But then I also don't like to feel like I'm boasting or bragging and stuff.
Right. I'm the same way. But I will
Yeah.
say one day, there will come a day when I will start talking some numbers in relation to YouTube because I think it is fascinating. And some of the videos that like you can make this little amount, and then other videos you would be amazed at what the opportunity there
Oh yeah.
is.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
explain to me why YouTube stinks right now?
Well, and I should say though, it's also dependent on the platform itself. So, but I've got some good examples of just things that, there's a video I did that I didn't even want to do, that it was for a product, and I had like no desire at all. I kind of got talked into it. And then this video, it's crazy how
Oh
much
wow.
I made off of it.
But that's on Facebook though, not on YouTube.
No, that one actually was on YouTube.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But we'll
Yeah,
save that
YouTube.
for another day, because at some point,
Okay.
we will start getting into, maybe, I don't know, maybe we won't. I just think, I know in my heart at some point I'm going to have like the whole tell all episodes,
Oh my gosh.
and yeah, it's going to be good.
Well, come notify me at my nursing home when you do that, and I'll listen.
Or maybe I'll put out a book. Maybe I'll write a book. Maybe
Book.
that's the way to go.
Yeah. Did you know that I used to be a sports writer for a newspaper?
I did not.
I
Wow.
I used to be. I was a passionate writer. But then I don't know what happened to me. I just didn't enjoy writing anymore.
Were you the guy that like put out the box scores? You just filled in the number.
No, I did. I covered the local dirt track. I did high school sports, basketball, football, and
Ooh.
I covered the Cleveland Indians on their winter caravan. I
Wow.
interviewed, Kenny Lofton and Jim Thome and a number of the other ones. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, see, maybe there's another chapter of a future Ohio Woodburner book
Uh-huh.
we need to dive into.
Yeah, there's not a lot of money in being a writer. I think you can make more money doing a YouTube video about your balance sheet.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
All right, Dan. Well, what do you think? Since you're not going to tell me your salary, there's no reason for me to continue on with this discussion.
yeah, nope, not going to happen today.
Okay. Well, how about let's tell everyone out there, thank you for tuning in to the Woodhounds. We are, if you haven't heard this before, the #1 firewood podcast in the world.
And you can keep us the #1 firewood podcast in the world by leaving us a 5-star review on whatever streaming service you listen on.
Listen to you, man. That's good. All right. Well, let's tell everyone out there to please tell us how much
money you make
and your mother's maiden
name.
Yeah. Oh boy. And also have
a great day.